What's good? What's good? We are back. Yours truly, the one and only Paul Pickett, host of the Paul Pickett Podcast, aka Triple P, aka the Common Sense Podcast, your source for music, sports, politics, world events, and more. Before we get started, don't forget the video version of my podcast goes to YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Rumble. Also, I'll take the video version of my podcast and I will stream it live on Twitter, and that goes to three of my Twitter accounts: Twitter at Promo Palace LLC, Twitter at Paul P Podcast, and Twitter at Paul W Pickett. And definitely follow on Rumble, because Rumble videos are monetized from day one, unlike YouTube, which requires 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. And don't forget the audio version goes to Spotify, Apple, Amazon, Deezer, TuneIn, Stitcher, Slacker, iHeartRadio, Player FM, Podchaser, Podcast Addict, and much more. Before I get started, let's give you a word from one of our sponsors.
Me and my team, whenever we link up, they wanna be drink up. We sit down, relax and have few glasses when there's things to think about. Like I'm nice with the boss when I tend to the bars and I'm not talking drink ups. So tell the bartender that's tending the bar to please pass me a big cup up. And tell the waitress is waiting on us to put a little ice in it. Now watch the ice become weightless like the spaceships that I be sitting in. No wait and listen, no they're waiting for that tropical twist that'll take your taste buds. Now taste some. Yo, I insist it's the Dizzle.
That's right, Dizzle brand premium luxury liqueur. Check them out, dizzlebrand.com. Mixture of agave tequila, cognac, and orange liquor mango mix. And that was Chip Fu doing the Dizzle brand commercial, and that was Mike Dizzle at the end holding his glass up saying cheers. He's the creator of Dizzle, created Dizzle back in 2001. If you want to order your very own bottle of Dizzle brand premium luxury liqueur, go to dizzlebrand.com, click on our locations, click on one of the top three links, and make sure you're 21 and over. Shipping and handling is included, and you can order your very own bottle or bottles of Dizzle brand, as Dizzle is only available right now in California, Kansas, Oklahoma, and a few other states, but coming soon to a city and state near you. Dizzlebrand.com. Do you Dizzle? Yes, I Dizzle. All right, let me pull up last night's score. Dallas won. It was a elimination game for them. Must win. More likely not. Would I be surprised if they win next game? I would not. Because Dallas has nothing left to lose. They got everything to gain. Everybody in the Warriors was a negative last night. Wiggins was a negative 20, Draymond negative 18, negative 20 for Looney, negative 22 for Clay, negative 23 for Curry. The bench players were pluses. Everybody started with minuses. And I don't know how they figure out the plus minuses. I actually need to go over an episode with that, look it up, see how they figure it out. You had 13 from Wiggins, 10 from Draymond, 12 from Klay Thompson, 20 from Curry, 14 from Jordan Poole. Jonathan Kuminga gave you 17 off the bench. He was 5 for 11. They probably should have been playing Jonathan Kuminga a lot more. And Jonathan Kuminga could literally get a NBA championship his first year in the league, along with Moses Moody. And these guys are going to be getting a lot more PT next year. I can tell you that much. I can tell you Jonathan Kuminga is probably going to be the second man off the bench next year. I would have him second man off the bench. Last night, you got 18 from Reggie Bullock from North Carolina. Go on, stand up. So Bullock showed up. Oh, my gosh. Dorian Finney-Smith. We were wondering, was Dorian Finney-Smith sighting? Has anybody seen Dorian Finney-Smith? He showed up last night with 23, 6, and 2 on 2 turnovers, plus 18. Dwight Powell didn't do nothing. 0 points. He ain't done nothing. They got to replace Dwight Powell. He can't be the starting center next year. 15 from Brunson, 30 from Luka, along with 14 rebounds and 9 assists. Let me see. Luka leading rebounder last night. Luka was leading rebounder last night. When Luka is usually leading rebounder, they usually win the games. Maxi Kleber put up 13 and 8. 10 and 8 assists from Dinwiddie. Dinwiddie almost had a double-double with assists. So that's the thing. I don't see a lot of steals either. There was only like 2, 3, 4 steals from Dallas. Only had 4 steals. Golden State only had like 4, 5 steals. Like there wasn't a ton. It doesn't like that was a ton of turnovers. Dorian, that's the thing. If Dorian Finney-Smith would have been balling out more this series, Dallas would have won some more games. I blame Dorian Finney-Smith really because he ain't showed up until now. It's like the last game. It's like damn near too late. Because now y'all still got to win 3 more games. Tonight you got Boston and Miami. It's tied up 2-2. This series has been crazy. It's been going back and forth. It's been like whoever wins just pretty much has a quarter or two of that game where they just dominate and they pretty much have the game sewed up off of one quarter. If I had to say who I think's in this series, I'm going with Boston, and here's why. Like, Bam Adebayo is the reason they won that game before last. But last game, it was like he only took 5 shots. Like, what's going on? You can't do that. You got to take damn near as many shots as you took the game before, Bam. I don't get these cats when they just disappear from one game to another. I just don't get it. It's playoff time. There's no time for anybody to be disappearing. But I look at Boston's big 3, Marcus Smart, Jason Tatum, and Jaylen Brown compared to Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, and Tyler Hero. That's the thing. Tyler Hero, Bam Adebayo, they haven't done much this series. Not much at all. Not much at all. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown have both bought out, and Marcus Smart has had some nice games as well, too. So Jimmy Butler's been the only really consistent for the Heat. So I got Boston winning the series. I do. I got Boston winning the series. I want to get into a couple topics. One is a sports-related thing. I want to get into the Tim Anderson White Sox thing, where this white baseball player, it doesn't even matter what the guy's name is because Tim Anderson's just pulling a race card, and it's horseshit. It's bullshit. Like, if you compare yourself to another athlete and somebody else calls you that athlete, how's that racist? Like, basically the white player called Tim Anderson, all right, Jackie, because he was because Tim Anderson compared himself to Jackie Robinson. I don't know why the hell he compared himself to Jackie Robinson. No athlete had to go through what Jackie Robinson had to go through. No athlete today had to go through the struggle, trials, tribulations, and the grind that Jackie Robinson had to go through. Tim Anderson wouldn't have been able to go through what Jackie Robinson had to go through. Like, what Jackie Robinson had to go through, like, you had to bite your tongue. And Jackie Robinson knew that ahead of time that he was going to deal with a lot of racism, a lot of racist remarks and stuff. And that he was going to have to bite his tongue, because that if he fought fire with fire, then it would just give the white racist critic ammunition and be like, "Oh, see, I told you so." Because at that time there was a perception that like all black people were like violent or criminals or stupid, and which I've talked about on this podcast, which is bogus because Africans used to feed the Romans and Egyptians feed the Romans. If somebody feeding, if you provided, if you're somebody's number one source of food, you're not, they're not superior to you. You're the superior one because you can easily just stop feeding them, and then they're fucked, they're screwed. But Tim Anderson, first of all, wouldn't have been able to go through what Jackie Robinson had to go through because it had to have been somebody who's going to bite their tongue and not fight fire with fire. And fighting with fire with fire does not work anyways because you put fires out with water and sand. You fight fire with other things. You don't fight fire with fire. That never works. And then Tim Anderson, there's a history of, I guess Tim Anderson compared himself to Jackie, and I guess the white guy called himself Jackie, called Tim Anderson Jackie before, and Tim Anderson didn't get mad about that before. And so I'm with Stephen A's take on this. Like it's horseshit, it's bullshit. This guy's just trying to play the race card. Since like I don't even know what the hell is any reason to be sensitive over this. Like if somebody compares you to Jackie Robinson, that has to be a good thing, And if you call yourself Jackie and you're nowhere near Jackie, and somebody tries to like mock you, yeah, whatever, Jackie, that's not racist either. That's just them clowning you for being a complete idiot for comparing yourself to Jackie Robinson. Stop it, man. No athlete today could compare. Michael Jordan couldn't compare himself to Jackie fucking Robinson, man. We're talking about the first African-American athlete that had to endure more than anybody had to endure as an African-American athlete, man. I mean, professionally, like he was the first professional African-American athlete, and he played for the Brooklyn Dodgers at that. Like he had to bite his tongue through a lot of shit that most people wouldn't bite their tongue through. I'm gonna tell you what, I couldn't have did it. I couldn't have did it. Jackie Robinson is a far greater man than I could ever be on that aspect of just, but it had to be done for the sake, just like Dean Smith. I'm a North Carolina Tar Heel fan. Dean Smith was the first college Division I coach to recruit an African-American basketball player in Charlie Scott. So North Carolina basketball paved the way. And that's the thing. Somebody has to be the first to set the wave and set the trend for this, because you got to realize there's at the time nobody has the balls to do this. Nobody has the balls to say, I'm gonna bring the first African American athlete in the college Division I, or I'm gonna bring the first African American athlete in the pro baseball. Somebody has to have the guts and the balls to just say, I don't care what any of the media is gonna say, if any of my friends are gonna turn on me or any of that nature. They have to just say, screw it all. If people want to turn on me, whatever people got to say, whatever their opinion is about it, I don't care. You should never really truly care what people think about you anyways, except your close personal friends. The people that you truly love, that's all you should really care about. But back to Tim Anderson. I don't think there was nothing racist about it. Him saying, Jackie, because even if, either way you look at it, if somebody's compared you to Jackie Robinson, that's a great compliment. If they're clowning you and because you compared yourself and you're nowhere near Jackie Robinson, that's not racist either. Like, who I think's racist? I think Tim Anderson's the racist. I think when people gotta pull the race card for every single thing that happens to them in life, they're the racist. I think people who wake up every single day and fixate on race, they're the racist. Like when they say, oh, it's not enough to not be racist, you got to be anti-racist. Well, guess what? You can be anti-racist all you want, but if you think people will ever stop being racist on this world, then you're dumbing in a bag of bricks. People are always going to be racist. It's really just about eliminating racism in the positions of power. Because the average person, the average Joe, the poor people, the average people are always going to be racist. And there's people going to be always going to be racist. Rich people, middle class Americans, poor people, but it's not going to be all of them, you know. But this idea that you could completely stop people from being racist is fairy tales, imaginary, bogus, made up. It really is. It's not even realistic because we're just so different. Even like you got some black dudes that listen to heavy metal, some black dudes that listen to hip hop. You got some white dudes like me that listen to hip hop, some white dudes that listen to heavy metal. We're all so different. We're different even within our races. Even within our races, we're all so different. We're all so different. None of us are exactly alike, you know. And some people are just gonna harbor hate, you know. And but Tim Anderson he's one of those people that wake up every single day and try to find racism everywhere, you know, in the world. And those are the people that are really the racist, you know, because most people aren't sitting there looking and thinking. I can tell you right now, most white people are not sitting there thinking, oh, is he a racist? Are they a racist? No, they're not. Most people, white, black, Hispanic, green, purple, they're just trying to get up, live another day, enjoy their life, go to work, make enough money to pay their bills and not struggle. And that's it. Most people aren't trying to harm other people. Most people aren't trying to think about the next man. You know? So Tim Anderson's he's just another Joy Reid. That's all he is. He's another one of those. They got to look for racism everywhere they turn, everywhere they go. You know, they got to look for the racist boogeyman everywhere they go. And he's not looking over their shoulder everywhere they go like they think he is. You know? They go plenty days in their life without they probably go 30 days in their life sometimes without coming across a racist person. You know, like we gotta stop this, man. So Tim Anderson, I'm calling you. It's BS. It's horse shit. You're the Colin Kaepernick of baseball right now, as far as I'm concerned. And if it wasn't horse shit and bullshit, then Stephen A. Smith wouldn't be calling you out on your horse shit and your bullshit. Stephen A. Smith clearly said the guy shouldn't have been you know, suspended. Because baseball's going woke too. Fuck baseball. Hope they lose money too. You go woke, you go broke. And the guy, Garrett Gardner or whatever his name was, talking about, well, I invite you to what you can call me. Well, you know what? People like that, I invite you to get the fuck out of my face. That's what I do. When you try to, I'll call you whatever the fuck I want to call you, technically speaking, because it's freedom of speech. If I want to call you a jackass or moron to your face, I'll call you that. I mean, I would never call nobody no racial slur. But you like this idea. If I want to be called Dr. Gardner, you'll call me Dr. Gardner. No, if I want to just call you jackass and moron, I'll call you jackass and moron. I'll just call you Gardner if I want to call you Gardner. You want to sit there and try to dictate, get bossy with people like who the fuck you think you are? If I want to be called Dr. Gardner, you know what you sound like? You sound like the pronoun people want to be called them or they. No, that ain't how it works. It's like, can you please call me Dr. Gardner? Once you try to tell me, well, you're going to call me Dr. Gardner. You know what I'm going to tell you? I'm going to tell you, you're going to get the fuck out my face and you're going to kick rocks and burn the fucking road, man. Because I'm sorry, man. Like, that's just another motherfucker trying to dictate you fucking views, what you say. You're trying to dictate and control people. That's all it is. When you sit there and tell me, you're going to call me what I tell you to call me. Man, and I'm gonna tell you know what I'm gonna tell you? When you tell me shit like that, I'm gonna tell you, get the fuck out of my face, burn the fucking road up. And if you don't, we're gonna have problems. Cause you don't get to tell me what the fuck to do. And that's the problem with society, man. Like some motherfuckers, they just want to damn control, dictate, and try to tell motherfuckers what to do and shit. I've never worked for anybody that ever tried to just tell me what to do. They ask me what to do and then I do it. You don't tell me what to do. I don't care if I work for you. You don't just tell me what to do. You don't be like, yo, grab a mop, clean the floor. No, you say, yo, can you please grab a mop? Can you clean the floor? Sure thing. Got you. Or hey, can you grab a mop? Can you sweep? Hey, can you get a sweep and mop? Once you start getting, super bossy, like you're gonna call me Dr. Gardner. Man, I'm gonna call you jackass and more, and I'm gonna tell you to get the hell out of my face. That's what I'm gonna call you. Next topic I'm gonna get into is gonna be really wild one. But before I do that, let's get into another word from one of our sponsors.
Are you a musician looking for music marketing and promotion? Then look no further than Promo Palace LLC, your one-stop shop for all music promotion services. Services include Spotify playlist pitching, YouTube video promotion, record pool promotion, blog placements, radio airplay promotion, SoundCloud promotion, and much more. With over 2,000 customers and over 10 years of experience in online promotion, Promo Palace LLC is a company you can trust. For more info, please go to promopalace.biz. See you there.
Once again, thank you to my beautiful spokesperson. That's right. If you need marketing promotion, check out Promo Palace LLC at promopalace.biz. Need to promote your music, product, brand, or service? We do press releases, SEOs, blog placements, playlist pitching, TikTok influencers, Instagram influencers, record pool placements, YouTube video, music video promotion, and much more. Check us out, promopalace.biz. See you there. Let me get into this thing. How much time we got left? This could probably be the only topic because I stayed on that Tim Anderson one a little bit long. Because I get upset with these people that pull the race card when there's clearly no racism or no racist involved. It's just clearly horseshit and bullshit. Because right now in America, there's a lot of that going on. But let me get in this one. It has to do with the schools. National School Board Association asking White House for military police at school board meetings. Oh my gosh, man. Oh my gosh. All I can really do is laugh at this one, man. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? This has got to be some of the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my entire life. Okay, so you basically want military police. This sounds, you talking about some New World Order shit. This is some New World Order shit for your ass right here. Well, you want to call, that's like martial law. You want to bring in military police at school board meetings because parents are upset because you throw in their little boys in dresses or trying to indoctrinate them with transgender, gender identity, race identity politics, critical race theory, which is not facts. It's no more real than the big critical race theory is no more real than the Big Bang Theory. It's theory. They don't go off of actual factual history. It's assumption. It's victimhood. I see the video where the grandfather goes in. They didn't show the grandfather, but he's upset about them putting his grandson in a dress. And the teacher's like, well, you got to talk to so-and-so. And she's like, well, your name's not on the list. And okay, I understand that part, but I'm going to tell you right now, man, screw the list. If I was a grandfather and you did that to my grandchild, and if my daughter and her husband was highly upset about it, pissed off as much as I would be, they wouldn't have to worry about my daughter and her and my son-in-law putting hands on that teacher. I would have I would have physically went to the store. I mean, I would have physically went to the school, probably put hands. I would have got locked up over this shit. I would have got locked up. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I couldn't have kids right now. I would get locked up over this shit. Like if you would have put my if you would have I'd have been locked up. I'd have been locked up for I probably went to school, probably stripped her down butt naked, made her walk down the hallway. How you like that? Is that cool? You know, because like I'm sorry, schools do not get to dictate this shit. You don't get to indoctrinate people's kids. That's why they took religion out of school in the first place. Because you don't like if a kid is their parents raised them on Islam, you don't get to teach them Christianity in school. If the parent teaches them Christianity, well, you don't get to teach them Islam in school. And vice versa. You don't get to do that. And the kid gets to decide for themselves once they turn a certain age anyways. Once they move out of their parents' house, they get to decide for themselves anyways. But the parent decides, hey, they want to raise their kid Christian, you don't get to try to indoctrinate them with Islam at school and vice versa. No, you don't get, you ain't got, no, you don't get to do that. That right there could get people fucked up, get people hurt. That could get hands put on people. That could get very violent, man. You start thinking you're going to indoctrinate people's kids, man. You want a civil war, you're going to get one doing that shit. You know, and I honestly starting to think these people want a fucking civil war. You talking about bringing the military police in because parents are upset because you putting their little boys in dress. You trying to force kids to become transgender males and females and non-binary and you trying to make little white kids get in front of this class and say that they're born racist and they're born oppressors and that they oppressed all people of color just because of their skin color. That's the doctrine that they're trying to force on these kids, and that doesn't bode well for black kids, white kids, Hispanic kids. That's gonna. You talking about division and civil war? That's what they want, man. I clearly think they want division. They want a civil war. And like I guarantee if teachers keep putting little boys in dresses, one of these teachers is gonna have their hands. Somebody's gonna put hands on them real fucking soon. One of these teachers is gonna get knocked the fuck out or assaulted over that shit. Because that guy was cool and calm about it. You're going to get one of these dudes from the hood that's going to go in there and that doesn't think twice about knocking the bitch's teeth down her throat. You're going to get one of these dudes from the hood that'll hit a bitch the same way he'll hit a dude. I know plenty of dudes like that. If you think all men are gentlemen in this world, oh, yeah, you keep thinking that shit. You keep putting dresses on their little boys and shit and their grandkids and see how much gentlemen men are. You're going to have women putting hands on teachers probably a lot quicker. You know what I'm saying? But I just know I would get locked up for that shit. If you took my kid, my son, and just put him in a dress in school and I found out about it later, I would be locked up for assault. I wouldn't give you no time to explain because I already know what you're trying to do. I'm not, and I'm sorry, I had to knock their teeth down their throat, man. I would. I couldn't be a parent, man, right now. With all this shit going on in schools right now, I could not be a parent. I mean, really, parents are going and complaining about you indoctrinating their kids, and you want to bring in military police. That sounds like you're just trying to enforce this indoctrination. Sounds like New World Order, martial law. Yeah, I don't know, man. I will be honest with y'all, man. This is the first time in America I've really been like, I'm a little nervous and worried about what direction we're about to go. We're either about to make a turn for the worse or turn for the best. What we really are. I think we're at that point. We're about to make a turn for the worse or turn for the best. Because there's plenty of things to go in a civil war over. You got the abortion thing. And that's another thing. When you got people talking about locking people up for using drugs, but people can get abortions. Well, that's fucking hypocritical as fuck. What happened to my body, my choice? If somebody wants to fucking snort coke, shoot up heroin, that's their body, their choice. You don't get to talk about my body, my choice with one thing on this planet, with one motherfucking thing on this planet, and you don't get without opening up the floodgates for every fucking thing. Every fucking thing. So anything that anything a person could say that my body, my choice nowadays. If it deals with their body, they can say it. I almost feel like we can't you got to start hiring people with tattoos on their face if we're gonna do abortions. My body, my choice. You know. You probably got to hire drug users. My body, my choice, man. You know, you can't throw this my body, my choice up just for abortions. Doesn't work that way. And sit there and say, oh, well, you can't be pro-abortion and anti-drugs. You're a fucking hypocrite. That's what you are. You're a fucking hypocrite. You can't be pro-abortion and anti-legalizing marijuana. You know what you are? You're a fucking hypocrite. You're a hypocrite. You know what's worse than a liar? A hypocrite. That's why most of these pro-abortion people are hypocrites, because they only want my body, my choice with just that and that only. Everything else, oh, no, not my body, my choice. Nope, sorry. Oh, vaccines, oh, not your body, not your choice. Wear a mask, oh, not your body, not your choice. Use drugs, nope, not your body, not your choice. Oh, but get an abortion, oh, yeah, gotta be my body, my choice, no matter what. The only time I believe in abortions, like I said, is rape. Rape. If a woman is raped, it's got to be a hard thing. It's got to be a hard thing, But some women, they have the rapist babies and they love the kids. But it's got to be a hard thing. If you sit there and, reenact the rape, and every time you look at your kid, because you sit there and think, part of the rapist is in your kid, it's got to be a hard thing. But these women out here just having sex over and over and over again, just getting abortions over and over and over again, that needs to be, I don't know. I just said, my thing is, I would be pro-abortion if they weren't so hypocritical about it. If they wasn't so hypocritical about it, I might be pro-abortion. But then again, I don't think I could be pro-abortion because the fact that a man is forced to be a father regardless whether he wants to. Like, it's my body, my choice when the kid has, gets the abortion, or has the kid. Like, the man has no say-so, but he's forced to be a father and forced to pay child support. And, that's why they have men's rights movements. Because of that shit right there. Or the shit Johnny Depp's going on, where women can sit there and lie about being abused or being raped when they clearly weren't. And as soon as a woman screams she was raped, people automatically believe her, whether the bitch is lying or not. I just think this is some scary shit right here. When if I see them start putting military police in school board meetings, I know that we're clearly going into martial law. We're clearly going into martial law. And what martial law comes about, like, they're clearly going to strip away all our freaking rights. And that's it. It's done and over with. You're not going to have no freedoms of speech or nothing. No freedom of speech, no freedom of anything. It's going to be like that damn Vin Diesel movie. Babylon AD, I think it was called, or whatever. Like, it really, man. I mean, we ain't gonna be able to do that. So, this is crazy. I mean, the National School Board asking for this is crazy. Like, So we need to have policing with automatic weapons because teachers might shout too loud. They might get too loud. They might get too upset because you're indoctrinating their kids with gender politics, gender identity politics, and critical race theory, and this non-binary BS, and all this other stuff they're trying to indoctrinate them with. Teachers might yell too loud. They might get too upset. We need military police with automatic weapons and grenades and rocket launchers and what the fuck, man? I know I'm throwing in rocket launcher, but I'm just the military. Like, what the fuck? Military ain't gonna be coming in with handguns. I can tell you that much. They're gonna be in there with automatic weapons. I mean, damn, they didn't even say like we need police. They didn't even say we need police at the no, they said we need military police. Which are always they're gonna be carrying automatic weapons and shit. And then like how are we gonna have military police at every school board meeting? There's not even a military base close to every school board meeting. That's more wasted money of taxpayer dollars right there, just so school board meetings don't have to hear teachers yelling at them about trying to indoctrinate their kids. Oh my gosh. What a fucking kind of world are we living in, man? I mean, this shit is crazy. I don't even think I could be calm about this one today, man. I mean, you got Tim Anderson over here pulling a race card over horse shit. You got National Board. Oh my gosh, we need military police. Parents are mad. They're upset. If this is the thing, if there's a pattern and a trend of parents being more upset across the U.S., well, then there has to be a pattern, a trend of teachers teaching shit they clearly should not be fucking teaching kids in school. And the problem is like I'm with the component that you shouldn't be teaching kids nothing sexual in elementary whatsoever. That's the parents' responsibility. That's the responsibility of parents. That's the thing. The schools are trying to take responsibilities away from the parents and saying, "Oh, that's our responsibility. It's our responsibility to indoctrinate your kids and dictate what your kids are taught sexually, racially, politically." Like, yeah, this is definitely some far leftist democratic shit. Where in the world? I mean, like, I don't remember politics being this so fucked up, where it was just so divided. And I think it's just so divided because you got the far right radicals, and they're usually the loudest voices in the room or the most politicized or publicized voices in the room. And then you got these far like left Democrats, which are the loudest voices in the room or the most publicized and politicized by the media. And then what I realized also is you got these people like, and I don't know how many there are. Like you got people, okay, you got a person like Bernie Sanders who, yes, he is elected as a Democrat. He ran as a Democrat, but he's technically not a Democrat. He's something even way further than that. AOC is probably that. She's probably not really a Democrat. She probably ran Democrat because I think we're going to start seeing a lot more political parties soon. Because then you got like Ron Paul is technically Okay, Ron Paul ran as a Republican, but Ron Paul is technically a libertarian. And libertarians are not nowhere near Republican, and they're not nowhere near Democrat. But what happens is somebody, if any of these politicians that have these non-democratic and non-Republican view sets, like these independents or these libertarians, and I'm leaning more libertarian myself, with some conservative views. Libertarian with conservative, like I agree with some conservative things, but I agree with some libertarian things. Like probably there are three main issues I agree with: no more wars, no more taxes, and I forgot what the other one was. But those top two right there, I'm totally with those. And I do agree with some conservative things. I don't agree with hardly nothing on the Democratic side. I can't agree with a side that has clearly took a stance that all white people are racist and oppressors, and we oppress people of color. I haven't oppressed nobody in my life. So there's that, you know. I can tell you, yeah, it's horse shit. And it's like I was telling my friend last night, like this is why you can't go woke in a business setting. Because once you go woke, this is the reason you go broke. When you go woke, you're clearly choosing a side that is saying all white people today are born racist oppressors and white supremacists because of their skin color, and they've clearly been white supremacist oppressors to people of color, even if they're dirt poor and don't even got the power to oppress a single person on the planet. They're got to be white racist oppressors. Well, once you take that stance and you lose customers because of that stance, unless you replace them with new customers, which you clearly are not going to, you're never getting those customers back. Once you call one whole race of people, it's like a time when people would say all black or all black people are dumb or criminals, which was clearly horseshit, clearly bullshit, clearly a false narrative. And the fact that anybody believed it was clearly stupid and a jackass and a moron and ignorant as fuck. Any white man that believed that was dumb as fuck. He didn't know his history. He didn't know that there was a lot of Africans on the east coast of the shores. Africans were here before the Spaniards, the English. There was Africans here. This idea that Egypt and Africa Egypt supplied like half of the world with grain at the time, if not more than half the world. This idea that they didn't have boats to travel across the world. How the hell were they feeding everybody then? How the hell would they have so much food, so much grain in the middle of the freaking desert? Riddle me that. Africans were big time fishermen on the African coast. You mean to tell me they weren't smart enough to build boats and come over to the America? Like, that's the thing. Columbus didn't discover nothing. There was people already here even before Africans hit the coast. And then when Spaniards hit the coast, there was Africans and Native Americans here. So there's that. There's just always been false narratives. And I can't go side with anybody that creates these racist false narratives. Now that's all this is. Like a friend of mine said it best, or he said something that made a lot of sense. He said, being woke used to be acknowledging the bullshit. Like acknowledging, that some cops are racist, that they do racist shit, and there's racist billionaires in power, and woke used to be acknowledging the bullshit. Now though, woke is the bullshit. It is the bullshit because it's bunching everybody up with the billionaires. It's bunching all white people up with the billionaires because 70% of people make less than 100,000 a year. I could tell you, I'm in the boat with the 70%. So I have no power to oppress anybody whatsoever. I'm in the same fucking boat. I make less than 100,000 a year. Okay, then when you get to the 30% that make 100,000 and 500,000, 100,000 or more a year, this idea that somebody makes 100,000 a year has power to oppress people is horseshit. Because 100,000 a year ain't a lot. 500,000 a year, they don't got the power to oppress people. A guy that's making $1 million a year is not got the power to oppress people. It's solely the billionaires that are on their ways to making trillions. And even all of them aren't truly trying to oppress people. I would argue that Elon Musk probably treats his employees way better than most. I would argue Elon Musk treats his employees way better than a Jeff Bezos. Way better than Jeff Bezos. I never heard Elon Musk employees coming out and bitching and complaining about his companies and the labor on his company. I never heard that. But Jeff Bezos, yeah, you could probably throw him in that boat. He don't give a shit about the average working man, you know. But the average working man, they also need to start giving a shit about themselves and, you know, start have more ambition and start learning how to create a business and build a business from ground up. This idea that you always got to go get a loan to start a business is bullshit. Sometimes you can just start small with your own money and build up. I built my own business by myself. Nobody helped me. Nobody helped me. I did all the marketing promotions myself. I did all the processing of orders myself. I did all the customer service myself every step of the way. Some people are they just don't want to, they don't want to go through the grind. Most people don't want to go through the grind that it takes to get there, in my opinion. The majority of people just don't want to go through the grind. They don't really have ambition. They're just dreamers. Dreamers don't make it. Dreamers don't become billionaires. Goal setters. Goal setters become millionaires and billionaires, not dreamers. Goal setters. I'm not a dreamer. I'm a goal setter. I set goals. I don't dream. I set goals. My first goal was to get Promo Palace to a sustainable business. Now it is. My second goal is to get New Little Apparel to a sustainable business. My third goal is to get Paul Pickett podcast to create an income and become a sustainable business. And my fourth goal is to help Dizzle brand premium luxury core any way I can along the way to become a $200 million business, a self-sustaining business as well. And I believe in Dizzle brand more than I believe in my own businesses, because my businesses only could have a couple of them have a certain peak. I believe Dizzle. I believe Dizzle brand could be bigger than a Paul Pickett podcast. I do. I know it could be bigger than Promo Palace LLC because music promotion companies can only be so big, because it's so oversaturated with. That's the thing. Nobody will ever have a monopoly on music promotion. And there's just so many bullshit companies out there that give the legit companies like mine a bad name. Nobody will ever have a monopoly on it. But we're about to go 50 minutes into this. We got to end this podcast up. But Tim Anderson, stop it. Stop it with the BS. It was nothing racist about this. Is what I think about Tim Anderson pulling a race card. BS. And National School Board Association wanting The military. I've ever heard some BS and some horse shit my entire life. That's two. But the second one is really scary though, because if you ever see military police at school board meetings, we're fucked. Martial law is taking over. All right, let's end this with a commercial, and we're gonna call this episode 147. This your boy, the one and only Paul Pickett, host of the Paul Pickett Podcast, aka Triple P, aka the Common Sense Podcast, your source for music, sports, politics, sport events, and more. Please check me out 3 to 4 days a week on my video podcast on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Rumble. And check out the audio version on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, Deezer, TuneIn, Stitcher, Slacker, iHeartRadio, Player FM, and much more. Peace. See you there. Once again, I want to thank y'all for tuning in. Paul Pickett Podcast, episode 147, a.k.a. Triple P, a.k.a. the Common Sense Podcast, your source for music, sports, politics, and more. And I'm out.